Mantis is still one of the best strategists to use in Marvel Rivals, and I almost feel like it's disrespectful to call Mantis a healer, and you might feel the same way by the end of this video. So today I have 8 essential tips that everyone should know when it comes down to playing as Mantis in Marvel Rivals. The first must-know tip is that Mantis is a different kind of strategist. The main thing you want to do when playing as Mantis is to be a tad bit more aggressive than you would with any other strategist. With Mantis, you really want to focus on delivering damage. Now, this is solely because not only does her attacks hit like a truck, but she also receives a life orb every critical hit or headshot she completes. This is truly a great thing at the end of the day because it allows her to use more damage buffs and heals frequently throughout a match. Our tip number 2 is to use Mantis as more of an off strategist because it allows her to actually take advantage of all of the amazing benefits to her kit. Now, I do believe that Mantis has the most value when she's used as a hybrid duelist. I typically look at Mantis more of a DPS or a duelist hero that can heal. Now, this goes straight into our next tip, which is to frequently use your self-healing and damage buff ability all throughout the match, okay? You should always be damage boosted. This ability is super helpful, especially when it comes down to winning your 1v1s against enemy divers. To get the most out of Mantis, you really have to keep your own damage boosted for the entirety of the game. And this shouldn't be too hard since you will be spending a lot of your time firing at enemies to ensure you can keep getting those life orbs. Other than having insane damage output, Mantis has a sleep ability that is extremely annoying for enemy divers to have to go against. So the next tip is to use her sleep on enemy divers or any opponent that you happen to get low. Now, you want to do this to make sure that they don't escape. Now, the cool thing about this sleep ability is that it's an area of effect attack. This means that you do not need to be perfect or land this attack directly on an opponent to stun them. The radius on this attack is pretty sizable, so if you can throw out your sleep around the target's feet, then you will still be able to enjoy the benefits of this ability. Now that we know this, you may ask, what is a great way to utilize this ability to get maximum value out of it? Now, this leads us to our next tip, which is, after you got dove on and you've already thrown your sleep, it is now time to attack. But hold on, a lot of good Mantis players sneak in 2 attacks immediately before the sleep effect kicks in. I have to warn you, you have to be extremely careful with this because you do run the risk of waking the enemy up a bit earlier than expected. But if you do the tech correctly, you'll be able to get off your 2 quick attacks while the enemy is still asleep. This is because there is a half a second delay on the sleep ability, which is perfect because if you aren't already damage boosted, this gives you plenty of time to pop a damage boost and land free headshots in order to finish the elimination. Now, we are on to tip number 6, which is to be mindful of your life orbs when healing your teammates. It's often that I see a Mantis just spamming heals into a single person, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's okay. But I need all new Mantis mains to understand that the healing flower ability, it grants allies healing over time. On impact, the healing does 55 HP, while the overtime effect gives about 20 HP per second, but for only 8 seconds. We are really flying through this video because we are now on tip number 7. But if you have received any value so far in this video, please make sure to smash the like button. That will give a great signal to the algorithm and hopefully spread this video to the random Mantis mains out there that might actually be throwing because they don't know any of these tips and tricks. On top of all that, I would really appreciate it if you smash the like button for your boy, all right? So now, tip number 7 is to pocket the right allies. If there was anyone you should pocket as a Mantis, it should be your ally DPS or your ally duelist. As a strategist, yes, you do need to keep an eye out for your vanguards, but I do feel that your team will receive the most value when Mantis can freely damage boost and heal her duelist. This is ideal because this will allow your duelist to quickly melt the enemy team in those must-win fights to capture the point. Now, this alone can be extremely helpful for your team and could also allow you to quickly climb the ranks in Marvel Rivals. With all of these abilities, there is just such a strong chance to pretty much solo carry a bad team when you're Mantis. But now we are here. This is our final Mantis tip for this video, and that's to learn when to use your ultimate. There are so many occasions when a random Mantis on my team will literally use their ult to save one person, and I don't see a way how anyone can get value from that. Instead, you should be using your ultimate in one of three ways. 1, to counter an enemy duelist ultimate. 2, to help your team finish a fight on the objective. Or 3, to either engage or counter an aggressive hard push. I think that these are the best 3 ways that any Mantis can add value to a team with her ultimate. So I hope these Mantis tips help you in becoming the best Mantis you can possibly be. Hopefully you have found value in this video, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If there is a character out there that you want to see any tips and tricks for, then please leave those heroes down below in the comments. And maybe hopefully we can get that information out to you as quickly as possible. All right. So Mantis is such a hard carry character in Marvel Rivals, and I love it. But there is another character that is striking tons of fear in everyone, and we actually have some pretty insane tips for this character. So if you aren't too busy, click on this video, and I promise you opponents won't stand a chance after you watch this video next.